You're crazy. Am I? Yes. Am I? Yes. Am I?
I'm making this video as like a continuation from the previous video that I did, which was shut up and entertain me, yeah? Because there's a point that I kind of missed out, or that I kind of thought about after I'd made it, and it came to me after watching the Formula One. And during the Formula One, or should I say, when I was watching the Formula One, yeah, at the end, I noticed that Lewis Hamilton was wearing a T-shirt that said, "Arrest the cops that killed Breonna Tylor." Right, and I was like, okay, that's cool. That's kind of cool of him. You know what I mean? I don't see an issue with that, right? And but at the same time, I was kind of thinking to myself, well, I hope he doesn't actually start talking about it when he gets to the, like when they do the after the race conference and all of those things, and the people run up to, well, how was the race? And I was like, well, as long as he sticks to the race, then we're cool, yeah, right? And he did. He didn't say nothing about the slogan on the T-shirt. No one mentioned it. No one brought no political conversation into the talk, right? But it was still, you can still read it. And me personally, like I said, I don't see why people have an issue with that, because for me, the people who are watching Formula One at that time, yeah, again, he's going to reach a mass audience, yeah, and you'll find that in that audience, you might find some people that read it and go, "What does that say?" Oh yeah, I saw that, yeah. But then you might have a real small percentage of people that will go, "Let's have a Breonna Tylor. Oh, look at that. Okay, please, right?" And for me, I don't see why people have such a big hatred for that. You know what I mean? Because whilst I'm watching the Formula One, and after the Formula One come on, I get alerts on my phone when certain people put up new videos and tweet messages and notifications of certain people that I follow, just to keep keep an ear to the ground kind of thing, right? And a couple of tweets came up and a video came up, and the person that made this tweet, yeah, started going in on Lewis Hamilton, calling him all kind of this, that, and the other, right? Saying that he's turning Formula One into a political this, that, and the other, and he's embarrassing political Formula One and so forth and so on, right? Yeah, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? And to me, I don't get why people are mad about that, right? Paul di Resta, he's a British person, right? Now, we all know of certain situations that happen up north from grooming gangs and what kind of terrible situations they're in. And one person kind of posted this. If it was a white person that wore a T-shirt about black people doing this to white people, would it be okay for that? And yes, it would. If there's an injustice being done and you're bringing awareness to it, yeah. I can't speak for all black people, but I wouldn't see an issue with that. If there's an injustice that's been done, a clear injustice where someone has committed, an atrocity against someone else unfairly and has not been punished for it, or they're getting away with, or they're getting away with it, and you want it, and Paul di Resta or any other white person, any other white celebrity wanted to bring awareness to it, I personally wouldn't have a problem with that. Yeah. And another thing is this, which kind of like expanding on that, is this. Just because Lewis Hamilton, or just because some black people or black individuals are bringing attention to certain situations that are happening, whether it's across the pond or here or wherever, right? Rather than get mad at them for doing that, right, shouldn't you be questioning why white celebrities, right, don't bring up issues of atrocities that happen within the white community? You know what I'm saying? Yeah? Like I said, like for example, the grooming gang thing. Yes, no one's saying that it hasn't been reported, it's not been made up, it's not been mentioned, right? But it's still happening. And a friend of mine that lives up north, yeah, before the lockdown, we'd conversate all the time because I'd go up there through work, yeah, and we'd always, chop bread and discuss, what's been going on and stuff like that. And he'd be telling me every other week, he'd be telling me about another story of a girl that happened to this girl and so on and so forth. And he was mad and upset about the lack of coverage that was being brought about it by the mainstream media, right? And for me, if the mainstream media ain't going to do nothing about it, or they're being silent on the matter, right, it wouldn't be an issue for me, like I said, speaking for myself, if, let's say, an Ed Sheeran, yeah, or like I said, Paul the Rest, or any white celebrity, whatever, if they went out to say, okay, then no anti-grooming, or say no to grooming gangs, or something like that, it wouldn't bother me. But the fact that they don't do it, yeah, is not on me, or it's not on anybody else. The question is, why aren't they doing it? As far as I'm concerned, yeah. Rather than having a go at someone who is speaking out about atrocities that are happening in certain communities or whatever, yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that was it. That was the point I was making. But I'll wrap it up there. And as usual, let me know what you think in the comments below. I'm out.
Yes. Am I? Yes. Am I? Yes.